And in your coaching practice, you use the formula practical skills plus radical self-inquiry plus peer experiences. And that would equal enhanced leadership and greater resiliency. And I just wonder, could you shed a little bit of light on those components and how they interact to create effective leaders?
Sure. Well, the first thing I'll respond to is the observation about what you described as autocratic leadership. I actually don't think that this is a generational shift. I think that there are generational forces at play, but I think that every generation has impulses. Out of fear, one of the impulses that arise is that we ask those who hold power to basically be the big daddy, the one who has all the answers. And there will always be narcissistic leaders who will respond to that request by grabbing as much power as they possibly can. I think this is part of the human condition. And I think that the way we push against that phenomena is for each of us to grapple with the things that we're afraid of so that we don't infantilize ourselves and turn to the autocratic leader, whether it's in business or in our communities through politics. And that is just an ongoing process that we have to maintain. We just have to stay vigilant around that. The experience, now again, you gave me two questions, and I developed a formula to try to understand for myself first, but then to try to communicate what it was that I was doing. And in a similar fashion, the formula actually describes a process that is a reaction to fear. So people reach out for coaching because they're terrified that they don't know what to do. They're really worried that someone's going to figure out that they have power and they don't know how to do the job. And so they reach out for practical skills. And those are really, really important. What I have found over the years is that by asking radical self-inquiry style questions, what we induce in the person who has power is the realization that they, more often than they realize, have the answers, which is critically important. And that gets reinforced when they're willing to drop masks and be vulnerable and authentic with their peers and to say, I'm struggling with this right now. Now, the payoff in that formula is this notion of enhanced leadership. That's really important because that's what motivates people. But what really motivates me is this notion of greater resiliency. And it kind of goes all the way back. If I can dial down fear, if I can dial up a sense of well-being and resilience in those who hold power, then they don't have to turn to narcissistic, autocratic tendencies. They don't have to spread toxicity amongst those that they lead. And so it actually starts to create a virtuous cycle of healthier organizations, more humane leadership organizations. And so that the promise of those of us who have power starts to be fulfilled. The promise is, I use my power to create more opportunity for those around me, not for self-aggrandisement, not to make myself feel safe, but to make others feel safe.